day, everyone. My name is Francine Cabosas from BSIT 1A. Today, I'm going to report the concept of hardware and software. System software operates directly on hardware devices of computer. It provides a platform to run an application. It provides and support user functionality. Example of system software includes operating system such as Windows, Linux, Unix, etc. Application software is designed for benefits of user to perform one or more tasks. Example of application software include Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Oracle, etc. Programming software is a software which help the programmer in developing other software, compilers, assemblers, debuggers, interpreters, etc. Our example of programming software, integrated development environment, are combination of all these software. Programming software is also known as programming tools or software development tools. Concept of computing data and information. In computing, data is information that has been translated into a form that is efficient of movements or processing. Relative to today's computers and transmission media, data is information converted into binary digital form. It is acceptable for data to be used as singular subject or a plural subject. Application of IECT. IECT stands for Information Electronics and Communication Technology. The application of IECT are as follow: A-governance, multimedia, and entertainment. A-governance is application of information electronics and communication technology in running an effective governance system for people. Communication refers to sharing of information between parties like common people, government, business, etc. Almost every government sector has changed to IECT like rail reservation system, gas subsidy, disbursal, etc. Multimedia and entertainment refers to combination of text, audio, video, graphics, animation, etc. It is one of application of IECT. Multimedia is used to improve quality of presentation by incorporating information, sharing, usage of graphics and animation, motion capture, etc. How to connect the keyboard, mouse, monitor, and printers to CPU. There are types of mouses: wired mouse, wireless receiver mouse, Bluetooth mouse. Connecting a wired mouse. Connecting your mouse to a PC, Mac, or other computer isn't overly complicated. The first step is to determine where you'd like your mouse to be placed. Think about the cord and make sure the placement is not near object it can get stuck on. Once your mouse is in an acceptable place, you can start to connect it to your computers. Connecting a wireless receiver mouse. There are a few types of wireless mouses on the market. One of the most popular options is a mouse with a wireless receiver. When you unpackage your mouse, look to see if a small plug comes with it. If so, you have a wireless mouse with a wireless receiver. People with this type of technology should start by powering down their computer. Instructions on how to do so safely are outlined in Section A above. Once your computer is turned off, you can plug the wireless receiver into one of your USB ports. How to identify a USB port is also covered in the section above. Once your receiver is plugged in, turn on your computer. Next, you want to see if your mouse needed batteries. Flip your mouse over to see if it has a tray on the back. You may need a screwdriver to open the tray, or you might be able to open its latch with your finger. If there's a place for batteries, insert new batteries. If there is no battery tray, your mouse may require charging. If this is the case, it should have come with a charger and a charging port. Once your mouse is charged or has batteries, it should start to function. A few mouse have on-off switches, so if yours isn't working, see if you can flip it into the on position. Once your computers and your mouse are turned on, you need to connect your mouse to your computer. A lot of mice come with connect buttons, which will connect the two pieces of technology. In the event you can find this button, call 1-800-573-8023 for technical supports. Connect a Bluetooth mouse. Some wire mouse use Bluetooth to connect with a computer. Bluetooth is a short-range wireless technology that connects a variety device from mobile phones to wireless speakers. Windows users can connect via Bluetooth by clicking on their Windows menu in the bottom left of their screen. After the menu is open, click on the gear menu, also known as Settings. Click on Devices and then select Bluetooth and other devices. Make sure your Bluetooth is turned on and your PC should start to look for nearby Bluetooth devices. After a minute or so, your wireless mouse should come up in the list of ready to pair devices, and you can click pair. Once you complete these steps. Your mouse should be working. Users who run into difficulty or have different Windows version that Windows 10 can receive further steps from the first from past PC directly. Mac users with Bluetooth mice will start by pressing the Apple menu in the top left of their screen. Once the drop-down menu is opening, click System Preference, find the Bluetooth icon and click on one time. A Bluetooth menu should open and you want to hit the Turn Bluetooth On option. If it's no on already selected, a list of devices will populate, and you'll want to look for your mouse. Once you see it, select the pair button, then next to its name. As long as it's turned on and its Bluetooth is enabled, it should connect within moments. Connecting your computer's keyboard. After you read the section about connection, your keyboard will be a breeze. Many keyboards are used USB-based, so they attach to your computers the same way a wired mouse attaches. Make sure your computer is powered down and plug your keyboard's USB into a USB port on your computer. When you turn your computer on again, you should be able to use your people who have wireless keyboard will likely either use a receiver or Bluetooth to connect their devices. A keyboard receiver function a lot like mouse's receiver. Plug your keyboard receiver into a USB port on your computer while it's turned on. You also want to make sure your keyboard has a necessary batteries or charge. It needs to function before you turn your computer on again. Once you're sure the keyboard has power, turn on your computer, and this point you'll receive a keyboard should connect. A Bluetooth keyboard will connect the same ways as wireless mouse. Once your computer's Bluetooth menu is open, look for your keyboard in the device section. As soon as populates you want to pair with it. In moments, a connections will be established and you should be able to use your keyboard wirelessly. Connecting your computer's printer. Last but not the least, you will you'll want to connect a printer to your computer. If your computer has a wire, it's likely a USB-based printer. Before you plug it in, place it down and make sure you like it positioned. When it's in a acceptable area, find its USB cords and plug it into your powered down computer. When you turn your computer on again, you should be able to use the printer. To test the connection, open something you want to print. An easily way to do this is to open Microsoft Word or Pages for Mac and type test. Next, click the Office button or File in the top left-hand corner on your screen. Click Print and make sure the printer default is New Printer you attach. Once you're happy with your settings, select Print and your printer should make a copy of the documents. Bluetooth printers are also common and should be connected in the same fashion as a Bluetooth mouse. Open your computer's Bluetooth menu and search for available devices. As long as your printer has power and its Bluetooth is enabled, it should pop up with the option of pair. Pair your computer with your printer, and then print the documents to make sure the connection is working properly. How to check a power supply. The power supply is often forgotten when it comes to diagnosing computer problems. But testing your power supply first can save you a lot of troubleshooting headaches down the road. If your computer experience screen on death crashes, hard drive errors, and just pain won't both dealing with a faulty power supply. Run this quickly test before you swapping out expensive hardware. Testing if it's power on. Step 1. Shut down your computers once the computer has been shut down or if it isn't starting to begin with. Flip the switch on the back of the power supply and plug the power supply from the outlet. Next, open your computer case. Disconnect the power supply cables from all of the components inside the case. Follow each cable from the power supply to the component to make sure that everything is properly unplugged. Make notes of where everything was plugged into for when you reassemble the case. Next, make a paperclip tester. You can use a paperclip to help test your power supply and trick it into thinking that it has been switched on. To do this, straighten and paper clips and then bend into a U shape. This paper clip will act as the pins that are inserted into a power supply that give in a power on signal. Next, find the 20 or 24 pin connector that normally attached to your computer's motherboard. It is typically the largest connector for the power supplies. Next, find the green pin or black pin, pin 15 and 16. We'll be inserting the ends of the paperclip into the green pin. There should be only one. And a neighboring black pin. Before you do this, double check to make sure that the power supply is completely disconnected from any power outlet, that it is switched off, and that it is not connected to any computer components. The green pin is typically pin 15 on a pin chart. Next, insert the paperclip. Once you have placed the paperclip into each of the pins, place the cable somewhere where it won't disturb. Plug the power supply back into the outlet and flip switch in the back. 7. Check the fan. Once the power supply is receiving power, you should be able to hear and or see a fan moving. They will let you know that the power supply is at least working. If the power supply does not turn on at all, Double check your pins after unplugging and try again. If it still does not turn on, then it is most likely dead. This test will not tell you if the power supply is functioning as it should, just that it is turning on. You will need to perform the next test to ensure that it is inputting correctly. Part 2, testing the output. Check the output through software if your computer is functional and you can load your operating system. Try using software to check your mm, SpeedPan is a freeware program that will read your computer diagnostics and report back your temperature and check the readouts to ensure that they fall within accepted tolerance. If your computer does not work, skip the next step. Next, shut down the computers and plug the power supply from the outlet. Turn off the power switch on the back of the power supply. Open the computer and disconnect all the components from the power supply. Follow the cables from the power supply to each component to ensure that everything has been properly disconnected. Next, test the power supply with a power supply testing units. These are available online and from computer stores and are not very expensive. Find the 20 or 24 pin connector on the power supply. This is typically the largest cable of the power supply. Connect the power supply testing units to the 20 or 24 pin connector. Plug the power supply back into the outlet and turn it on. Your power supply should turn on automatically, and your power supply tester will light up. Some power supply tester requires you to turn on the power supply using a switch or button on the tester. Other will turn on automatically. Check the voltage. The 20 or 24 pin connector will have multiple readouts, but there are four essential measurements you need to look for. So money. Ensure that the voltage are within normal acceptable tolerance. Positive 3.3, positive 5, positive 12 can all be within positive or negative 5%. The negative 12 can be written positive or negative 10%. If any of the readings are outside the range, that the power supply is bad and needs to be replaced. Next, test the other connectors. Once you verify that the main connector is outputting power properly, test each of the other connector cables one by one and plug and turn off the power supply between each test. Next, test the power supply with a multimeter, straighten and paper clips and then bend it into a U shape. Find the green pin on the 20 or 24 pin connector. Plug the paper clip into a green pin, pin 15, and into one of the neighboring black pins. This will trick the connector into thinking it's plugged into motherboard. Plug the power supply back in and turn it on. Find a pin-out chart for your power supply. This will let you know which pin provides which voltage. Set your multimeter to the VBDC setting. If your multimeter does not auto-range, set the range to 10 voltage. Connect the negative probe of the multimeter to ground black pin on the connector. Connect the positive probe to the first pin that you want to test. Note of the voltage display. Check the voltage to make sure they fall within the tolerance threshold. If any of the voltage are outside of the tolerance range, then the power supply is defective. Repeat, repeat the process for each of the peripheral connector. Refer to the specific pinout chart of each connector to see which pin to test. Next, reassemble your computer. Once you've tested and verified all the power connector, you can reassemble your computer. Ensure that all your devices are properly plugged back in, and that all of the motherboard connectors are properly setted. Once you have finished reassembling the computer, you can try powering it on. If you are still having computer errors, your computer will not start. Move on to other troubleshooting steps. The first place to check will be your motherboard.